that Odell Beckham Jr. has expressed going to are the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Green Bay Packers, on paper, everything makes sense, right? You have that veteran presence at quarterback, which Odell Beckham needs. He needs somebody to right his ship like, hey, this is our way. This is the way it is going to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Aaron Rodgers. Number two, he would not be the number one receiver. And Odell Beckham Jr., he would not be the number one receiver, I should say. And I think Odell Beckham Jr. is no longer, actually, he never was a number one receiver, and he would thrive in that number two or even number three role for the Green Bay Packers. And number three, the Green Bay Packers are a great organization. They are a great team, and they have Super Bowl aspirations. Everything that Odell Beckham Jr. wants in a team, and those are three huge cons for Odell Beckham Jr. and the Green Bay Packers. Now, the cons to going to Green Bay is that I think Odell Beckham Jr. in his mind thinks he is a number one receiver. He would not be a number one receiver on Green Bay. He simply wouldn't. Devontae Adams is arguably the best receiver in the league, and Odell Beckham Jr. isn't even top 25. He has lost a step. His hands are starting to get worse. He has a 10% drop rate this season, highest in his whole career, and it is number 20th or 25th in the league as well. So I mean, he is on the bottom half of the receiving numbers as well. Number three is that he does have a young head coach. So I think he would try to manipulate that young head coach into doing what he wants. And on paper, everything makes sense. All the checkbox are checked for teams looking at Odell Beckham Jr., but I don't think it checks for Odell Beckham because he would not be the number one receiver. So I do not think that he will end up in Green Bay.